Hello and welcome in today's exciting episode. I totally ignore all the half-made dresses that I've got on the rack and I make more mess, basically.
It's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Perfect jacket.
So the Christmas Day sewing vlog was me making those, talking about how I made those navy and teal dresses and a black top, so the top half of another dress. And then I said, oh, I might finish them or I might cut out some more dresses. Well, I cut out some more stuff so that I could get yet more scraps for the, here we go. I also collected, you can see the pink ones, they're from November. So yeah, I sort of rounded up all the scraps that I have and I've sort of started sorting them into different colours, but then I completely gave up and just cut another one and dumped the scraps over there. So here we have I divide them into two storage containers. This modest one here is the ones that I'll have to make up with dark thread, and the other overflowing one is ones that I'll use beige thread, probably beige thread, or there's a couple of red and hot pink ones in there as well. So yeah, as you can see, my beautifully organized fabrics. If you saw a few weeks ago, I did a KonMari My Fabric Stash where I carefully took everything out and totally cleaned it up and organized it, and now it's an absolute mess again. So yeah, that's annoying, but on the bright side, I've cut out loads of, that's the tweed jacket. I'm supposed to start making that tomorrow. So I've got to organize, refile all these, or I don't know, just have them really messy in the background of the jacket video, I guess. So anyway, so that's the jacket I'm making, that Italian tweed. And I'm just thinking about whether I'll keep out a fabric to make a dress with it, but I don't know. Yes, with all this non-existent time. But these are some of the dresses that I've already cut out. So they're all just cut out and ready to go. I won't make them on camera because I think I've made the ruby dress, that simplicity dress, like a billion times during December. So the previous one was a denim coloured skirt with a floral top, but it's going to be a whole dress. And that one, the rose and teal fabric, is going to be just a skirt, three-tiered skirt. And this is two different floral fabrics with black backing. And I'm just going to do alternate layers, tiers. It's going to be a tier dress. And so the first one's going to be this gorgeous Sally Kelly print. And then there's going to be the 70s print, then the Sally Kelly print, then the bottom one is going to be the 70s print. And then with this one, it's going to be another false skirt and top. The skirt is going to be plain magenta and the top is going to have these massive puffy sleeves, and it's going to be the floral one. I think that one's going to look really, really cute. And I only used half this floral fabric because I had 2 yards of it, and I only used 1 yard on this particular, cutting out the pieces for this dress. So then with the other half of this fabric, I used it as a tier with some other floral prints. They're sort of pinks and magenta and red. So these are fabrics I was going to use in February for the Valentine's Day month. You know, it's all going to be pinks and reds. So each tier is a different sort of roses or a floral one. I think that's the top tier. I really love that one. And this red one here, and there's that 70s one in different colorway. And so they're the same print, but this one only used half the fabric on one of the tiers in this, and the other half, I have that Scandinavian Christmas fabric in, it's in the other box and I couldn't be bothered getting it out just yet. But it was only 3 yards, so I thought, ooh, I've got enough if I add the yard of that red rose fabric, then it'll be 4 yards, and it will be as long as the original ruby dress. So that's what I'm doing for that one. And this is a green one. So I think I told you I was going to just two different fabrics, so it would end up being 4 yards of 2 yards of this and 2 yards of the slightly different green with the rabbits on it, the English garden one. But I added third fabric. So now I think it's 6 yards, and it's got to be so cool. So the Sally Kelly one, this fabulous one here, is the bodice and the first tier of the skirt, and I'll break up those two by having a bunny bow sash, so that belt the sash around it, and that will break those two up. And then the second tier is the bunny one, just because I had so much more fabric of that. And then the last tier is the other green one that I don't like so much, so it's down near the ground. So yeah, basically the top part is all my favorite fabric, and then it gets progressively, I mean, I like all of them, but I really, really like that Sally Kelly Paradiso print. It's just so pretty. And yeah, because I did the whole of the top and the first tier, you get a sort of unbroken amount of that gorgeous fabric. So yeah. And I'm just noticing that this Italian tweed, because it's so chaotic and has so many gorgeous colours in it, it's basically matching all of the ones in the dark box. So I'm going to have so many different dresses to wear with that one. I'm making it in the slightly baggier jacket pattern that's more like a vintage Vogue, relaxed cardigan fit. So yeah, because all the dresses, well, a lot of the dresses are going to have puffy sleeves, so it'll fit nicely over them. So I'm quite happy about that. So that's all I have in my box for dark, that I'll use the dark thread for. And this is some of the ones from the light box. So this one is kind of a massive one. I think I use 7 or 8 yards in this one. It's rather epic. And yeah, and I think, I used the full 8 yards because, yeah, I had a little bit left over, and I cut it into 16 different strips, and I'm going to use it make a ruffle out of it in between the second and third tiers of the skirt. So yeah, I used only a little bit for the first tier of the skirt, and then yeah, so I'm not sure whether I'll actually get around to doing the ruffle though, because it's like 3 times as much hem, because the ruffle is twice as much fabric as the lower tier, because that's how you get it to look all ruffly. So yeah, it's a lot of, because I don't like visible machine seams, machine stitches, I'll have to do it all by hand. So yeah, I'm not sure if I want to ruffle that much. Anyway, I think I used half of this fabric in something else, but then I decided that the blue in it is so pretty that I wanted to use it in this one as well. So yeah, it's mostly floral fabrics with a navy background, but I also used a little bit of the that other autumn and spring toned floral in there as well. That's on like a linen cotton blend. And this one I will speed up a little bit. This is the apricot peach one. It's 2 different fabrics, and then this one is aqua floral with a green fabric that's got birds and flowers on it. So I could have made 2 dresses out of these 2, because the aqua one, I think it's 4 yards, and the green is 4 yards. So I could have made 2 medium-sized dresses, or 2 really nice dresses, but I thought, yeah, I'll make one epic maxi dress out of them. And yeah, it would just be so cool. I think they look so pretty together. And yeah, I'd much prefer to have one totally awesome dress than 2 kind of nice dresses. And this is at the other extreme. I only have 2 yards of this fabric, so it's a tiny dress. It's sort of like a singlet top with 1 tier of skirt. And it's going to be baggy enough that I can still wear a long sleeve top underneath and a pair of jeans, and just wear it over a top like a shift or something. But or I could wear it as a summer dress. And this is another ridiculous one. It's 8 yards, 2 of each type, and that's the kids' party dress. So 1 tier is Toy Story, and another tier is the Very Hungry Caterpillar fabric. This one, I'm just noticing that seriously, this Italian tweed is going to go with at least half my dresses. It's amazing. I love it so much. So yeah, I'm just noticing how well it'll go with that. So with that floral, I'm just going to use the whole 4 yards to make one dress and not add anything else to it. This, yeah, of course, I bought another Christmas fabric. Of course I did. So this is another Scandinavian Christmas fabric, and that's just going to be a whole dress by itself. And this is the other Scandinavian Christmas Village one. And I'm going to add a yard of the red rose to it, just to break it up and lengthen the skirt of it a little bit more. And I really like that one. This is a vintage reproduction of tulips, and I want to do a sort of Audrey Hepburn one with this. Well, I am going to. I've already cut it out. So it's going to be like a small top and then a one-tier skirt that's all gathered around the waist, sort of like the flamenco dress that I did, or the holly one, the Vintage Vogue holly one. And then this is another floral one. See, this is the other half of that autumn/spring floral. So this is one's in mustard tones. So I've got 1 yard of that and 2 yards of each of these. So all up it's 5 yards. And yeah, so it sort of starts the lightest one, and then it goes to the one with the second most mustard, and then the bottom tier is just full on mustard floral. And then next month is beige month. So I think next month I'll do these. I was going to do a dress out of one of the beige floral fabrics and then a shirt out of the other, but I think I'll just roll them all together and make one dress. And this is a crepe. It's a synthetic fabric. This is the first synthetic one you've seen. And yeah, I just don't like working with synthetics, but there are a lot of Vintage Vogue dresses that I want to make in the coming year that are from the 30s and 40s. And during the Depression era and wartime, World War II, there were restrictions on natural fibres and natural fabrics. So yeah, it's period authentic to use a synthetic fabric. So I thought I'd just try one, and just, it's different to draping the fabric in your hand and seeing how it drapes as a final garment. So I think I'll just make that up just to know how it drapes and sort of compare it to another all cotton one and just sort of sit them side by side and yeah, compare them. So then there's a bunch of other ones I cut out as well. As I mentioned in a previous video, some YouTubers having Halloween in January. So yeah, I just cut out a Halloween dress just in case I decide to join in the fun. So yeah, I've packed them all back into their various boxes. And so basically, if I finish a jacket or finish making a vintage dress or a jacket, and then I'll just, whatever colour thread I've got on the machine, I'll just pull out that box and make 1 or 2 dresses for myself. Just, yeah, just not recording them, but just so to make them for myself, because I'm getting a bit stressed filming absolutely everything I sew. So I think I'll just make some things off camera just to, you know, maintain my equilibrium. So these are all the so the reason I cut up all those dresses was that I would have all these scraps, and so that I could make them up into a dress. So yeah, and this is a little bag, because apparently lots of sewing channels get nasty comments about how much waste they create by making so many dresses. I pretty much keep all the scraps. I cut off the little bits that can't be used in a patchwork, and yeah, I just have one tiny bag of stuff from the past 2 or 3 months, and that's pretty much it. I mean, it's full now. I have to go get another bag to use as my garbage bag, but I think I don't create a whole lot of waste is what I'm saying. So anyway, these are all my scraps that I'm going to use to make a patchwork dress. So they were utter chaos. So I divided them into a couple of different bags. So I've got a bright one, and yeah, I couldn't decide what to do with these two because there's so much white in them. If there was less white in the tulip one, then I would put it in that bright one, the smallest one there, that mainly has oranges and peaches and pinks. But I don't know, I feel like it has too much white to go in there. And same with this one. I feel like if it didn't have so much white in it, then it could go in the dark one because it's got quite that really vibrant blue in there. But yeah, I also have a couple of patches, like small bits of fabric, but I think I'll leave them out for now because, yeah, I don't want to just cut up usable fabric. Like, I mean, you could conceivably cut a bodice of a dress out of that, like a 1960s bodice, or make it into a 1960s top. So, yeah, I feel like, and these two as well, I just feel like you could make sort of a short sleeve top out of them. So I feel like there's enough fabric there to do something with. I don't want to like cut up usable bits of fabric just to make scraps if I don't have to. Like if my patchwork dress is almost finished, but I just need like half a yard more of fabric, then yeah. But if I don't, then I just think it's such a waste to cut up something that you don't really have to. So anyway, now it was time to look at different patchwork dresses. And I don't like the ones that are just big patches. And I really don't like the ones where it looks like they bought 5 fabrics, cut them all up, and then just use them up. I like the ones, these, I just came across these photos. I'm not going to culturally appropriate anything, but I just think they're absolutely beautiful. So these ones are better, but yeah, I just feel like they don't feel like they're patches. They feel like they're just a couple of bits of fabric mixed together, cut up and then sewn back together. So I want it to feel like they're all, I don't know, more, well, authentic, but more, yeah, organic, I guess is the term. But that said, there's no way I'm going to sit there and hand stitch every piece to the next. That's the only way to get that really 1930s look that I love. But I'll try and get something approaching it though. I'm having trouble figuring out how much fabric I have because like I have picked it up and held it and gone, oh, okay, I think I know how much fabric that is. But when you're doing patchwork, you've got so many seams in there and so much fabric is eaten up by fabric seam allowance. So these are now for sort of equal amounts by putting the bright in with the beigey pink one. So yeah, I don't know how to start. I guess I'll just like take a bag and dump it out. It was useful cutting up so many dresses because I understand how much fabric I'll need for a dress, like if I want it 2 tiers or 4 tiers or really big skirts. So I understand the ratio of it and yeah, how big the pattern pieces are and things like that. So obviously I'm not going to make tiered skirts. I'm going to make it look like a tiered skirt, but I don't want any patchwork fabric being pleated, so it's going to be more like a circle skirt, but my construction of it is going to be more like a tiered skirt, if you get what I mean. So yeah, so basically I started by dumping out the beige and pink, pale pinks bag onto the desk and just sewing them all together in rows. And yeah, I've done about a third of the bag, I think. And it's quite a lot of fabric. And then I just sort of wrapped it around. I don't want it, I don't want even seams. I want them wonky and all different ways. Like, yeah. I'm not going to hand, as I said, I just don't think I have time to hand sew everything. I think I might, yeah. So I'm trying to work out if I have enough fabric. I think if I add some of the like the smaller holly ones, I mean, I do have other fabric, but as I said, I don't really want to use it up. I might cut it into a dress, then use the scraps for this. And yeah, I might add a few of the sort of beigey green ones into this one. And then, yeah, if I don't do too big a skirt, then yeah, it might work out. I'm not sure. Yeah. It's going well, but it's still a little too early in the process to sort of know whether or not I've got enough to make an entire dress. So yeah, and I sort of have to stop here to have enough time to edit and do the narration and stuff for the video. So I think after I've done the video, then I'll do a few more hours of sewing all the patches together. So yeah, I think and annoyingly, I wrapped it, as I was wrapping it around the mannequin, I wrapped it round upside down. So the bunnies and the ginger men are all upside down. On the bright side, I sewed everything together the correct way, but which annoyingly means that every single directional print is upside down. But I do think those two greens, like the lighter of the greens, look well with the sort of pinks and beiges. So yeah, I think I'm on track. I think it will be good. So I think I'll just sort of cut those bits. I don't know. I can't decide. I like it being really uneven. So I might have some sections that are that wide and some I'll cut in half and make them smaller patches, if you get what I mean. And then, yeah. And then, so anyway, I'll just keep working on it. And then I'll do a few more hours. And then if I think I can get the entire thing made in the next couple of days, then I'll do that. Otherwise, I'll go home and make a jacket because, yeah, I kind of have to start thinking back in episodes. So, yeah, but I'm very proud of this. I had 3 small bits, so I sewed them together. Then I made them big enough to add into the normal size strips. So, yeah, I think, yeah, this is what I mean. I'll cut it in half and then sew the layers together, because I do like the occasional wide one, but I much prefer the smaller patches, and I like all the lines not being straight. I like them all being different and mismatched. I think that looks really cute, and I think I'll do the big puffy sleeves. I think they'll look really cute and will show off the patches. So yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on how much fabric I have, but that is the plan. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I didn't really do anything finished for this episode, but over the past few days I have definitely cut out a lot of dresses, and that has been fun. The whole patchworking thing was stressful. A lot of it was just due to the amount of mess you have to make with all sorting out all the scraps. But yeah, once I was sorted, it's becoming less and less stressful now that I sort of feel like I know what I'm doing. And yeah, I still think this dress is going to take, I don't know how long it's going to take, but it just feels like it's taking forever. Anyway, hopefully I'll finish it by the new year. Hopefully.